Virgos, welcome and welcome back to the Honey Sea Star Tarot, and welcome to our very first week in December. Happy December, let me tell you. This week we have a Sagittarius stellium. We have the full moon in Gemini. There are some shakeups. There are some major changes ahead. There is also this aspect with Sagittarian energy because it's the fiery explorer of truth, adventure. This is where you are making and embracing changes and making every moment count. You hold the key to life. So before we get started, I also just want to say thank you guys so much to each and every one of you. I hope you had a beautiful, happy Thanksgiving, safe travels if you were caught in the snowstorms. Just want to say, you guys are what make this channel a family. You are what make this a success, and I am so grateful for each and every one of you. All of your comments, likes, shares, subscribes, hypes, and purchases with the Honey Sea Star store. I mean, oh my goodness, you guys truly, you make me melt. You give me goosebumps, and I love each and every one of you back. So right away, let's get into this, because this is the week where right away you're going to feel this fire lit in your home and your family life. We have a Sagittarius stellium. With all the water that we have had, this is where it's like now you've got the warmth coming into the home, into the hearth, because this Sagittarius stellium, say that 10 times fast, is going to be sitting in your fourth house, home, family, roots, and it's going to be taking place between the Sun, Venus, and Mars. So we've got the Sun, our vitality of life. We've got Venus, our heart's desires, and our go-getter planet of action, drive, ambition, all coming home for the holidays this week. And this will hold strong through mid-December. About December 15th is when it kind of moves, when Mars is actually moving into, thank you, Capricorn, into our fifth house, which is joy, contentment. So with all of this fiery energy, this optimistic truth coming home for the holidays, this is where just expect a lot of movement, a lot of change, and a lot of desire for new growth when it comes to your home, your family, where you plant your roots. And also, you'll feel this urge to expand your space so that love, harmony, pleasure are the key components that fill and define your home. And like I said before, you hold the key during this Sagittarius stellium to life. It is a beautiful, optimistic energy. It's going to infuse your space. So just to kind of look at how you're defining this, how this manifests, you could be redecorating, not just for the holidays, but like making space that fills your home with this harmony, with this love. And it's with creativity as well with Venus, right? You could be planning a vacay. You could be planning a staycay. You may be renovating or creating this like home spa getaway in the basement, you know, where like only the parents are allowed. Maybe the kids too, but who knows? This fiery stellium is going to be infusing your space with this new energy and inspiration that feels liberating. It feels refreshing, like hot cocoa with cinnamon and maybe a little bit of like, I don't know, some smoked paprika or something like that. A little bit of spice in there. Maybe some cinnamon, right? It's going to connect you with family in new ways outside of your normal routine. You could be turning your backyard into like its own snow sculpture rotary light show for the kids, right? And it's equipped with like elves on the snow shelves, or maybe even a mini skating rink, just saying. You might even feel an urge to plan a spontaneous trip where coats and snow are not only not needed, they are not allowed, they will not exist in the warmer climate, just saying. Or even planning a themed holiday party, right? This could be like basically like where you're I don't know, you're getting some spice in life. However that means to you, whatever that means to you, and you're infusing it and tying it to all of your home ties, all of your roots. This includes even relocation, new experiences, new directions, new locations. This Sagittarius stellium is giving you the vision for the future of your home and your family. And with your Virgo in practicality, it's going to be making it all happen smoothly, effortlessly. We also, I will say as well, have a full moon this week in Gemini, in our 10th house. And it's going to be thinking back to everything that you've been working towards since May of this year. We'll get into it. But it's going to be bringing, this full moon is going to be bringing this time of high visibility for you. It's going to be bringing important decisions and decisive conversations about career. And in this Sagittarius season, as we kick off December, your logic, your action, and your emotion is going to be showered with good luck and spirited optimism of adventure, new experiences, exploration. So let's get into it with the tarot, because right away when we walk in December 1st, happy Monday, just saying, the moon is going to be in Aries in our 8th house of transformation. The moon is also going to be trine with Mars, which again is in this Sagittarius stellium, in your 4th house. The moon in Aries, action, initiation with transformation, right, will also be squaring off with Jupiter, which is currently in Cancer and in your 11th house, hopes, wishes, dreams, long-held aspirations. So right away, you're going to be starting this week off where you may feel a lot of courage to transform your living situation so it aligns better with your long-term dreams and your long-term direction. So right away, this is about transformation. This is sudden epiphany, spiritual growth, overthrowing misconceptions, but also to embracing change. Like I say, this week is full of shakeups, but this is also with that Sagittarian energy. It's not shying away from change. It's heading towards it, charging towards it. Face forward, toes planted, head on. So with the moon being trine Mars, your emotions, your emotional desires about home and family, about your family life are going to be aligned with action and with courage. So you may be feeling this motivation to address deep-seated emotional struggles or even family matters that have kind of surfaced either through the holidays, now that Mercury is direct back in Scorpio, so a lot of things that could have come up in October, things that you've been avoiding. Whatever pull you feel drawn to, you're going to feel emboldened. You're going to feel empowered to make a change and take a stand. And as you can see with the Page of Cups, he is holding that cup. That is all of your emotions with where your truth is. Seeing the shadows, right, that possibly have been avoided, what's been uncovered, especially with that scorpionic energy with Mercury, that is downloads about things that were hidden before coming to the surface. And you're looking at how to balance all of it, tying to your home, tying to your roots, tying to your direction with purposeful meaning. This is really looking at being focused where there was before maybe a foggy headedness during the retrograde, just saying, especially because we had 5. I mean, come on, universe. Now, thankfully, we've got Mercury direct. We've got Saturn being direct. We also have this beautiful trine between Saturn and Jupiter, which is going to be with us all the way through 2027. So I'm just saying it now. Clarity is starting to come through. Expansion in your clarity is really starting to come through. Your sensitivity when it comes to your intuition, your psychic abilities, receiving inspiring news, really tying your spirit, your desires, your balance in the inner self and in your partnerships, and making sure that they align along with your connection to the divine, to your inner fire, right? What lights you up and fills you up. So, especially when it comes to mourning, grief, dealing with loss, avoiding loss, maybe feelings of regret or despair, feeling heavy-heartedness. This Sagittarian stellium is bringing you into the present, and it's making sure that you're making the changes to make every moment count where you treasure and cherish the present. This is where, especially with that scorpionic energy, you are looking at Mars now moved into our home and family ties, and you're looking at the new cycles, the change, the shifts that need to happen, the adjustments that need to happen, the challenges that you face to really get back in to that sacral flow energy where you turn all of that pain to your passion. You turn all of those wounds into the wisdom that you cherish and hold for creating your future and your present here and now in every single day, in every single moment. And with every single partnership that you hold most dear. And if that resonates, by all means, let me know in the comments below. Put a heart in the comments below, because this is where, this week, all of December really, Sagittarian season, to be very honest, but this is where you are making a change. You're empowered to take that stand. And it could be about tackling some very deep-seated issues in your home life. Could be about a family dynamic. Could be about an issue in a relationship that's making you feel a lack of emotional security, or even making you feel unsupported. There's something here in your current home and family life that is not aligned to where you want to be, where you want to go, where you want to see yourself in your future, as you imagine, as you dream, as you create and cultivate. This could even be too, especially with Mars and the Moon, where you call home, how you define home. And with Mars and the Moon's new energy, this new inspiration that's coming in, with that trine, it's going to help you with feeling liberating or feeling refreshed. It's going to connect you with family in new ways. It's going to really give you this courage to drive to make the changes, make the plans that are needed to realign you to the foundation that you crave, that brings you true joy, true contentment. And with Jupiter as well here in the mix right away on Monday, Jupiter is creating this tension between the here and now and the dream that you have, that you hold, that's bigger. Especially when it comes to finances, your career, your relationships. These three are asking you to look at what you need, what you want to do to claim your security, to call back your power, to claim your stability, and confront those hidden truths, confront where you feel overburdened by obligation, what you truly want your living environment to look like in your future, in the here and now. And as the Moon moves into Taurus, into our 9th house of expansion, higher learning in the evening of Monday, it's going to be bringing this welcoming sense of grounding to this energy of change. So this is where, with the Taurian Moon right away coming into this week, it's looking at grounding your courage with pursuing long-term security, with patience, with knowledge, with planning. It's creating tangible results for a future that reflects your highest values and ensuring that you can accomplish all of it with that big dream energy, with that higher expansion energy. So, especially with, if you're looking at, with direction, with possibly relocating. This Taurus Moon is going to be helping you with researching the area, as an example, researching the rental market, the housing market, the job change that's needed to create the financial security that's needed for the move, for the realignment. You could be exploring new ideas, new philosophies, or even spiritual practices that provide this emotional comfort, the emotional growth that challenge you and your current worldview. And it's going to open you up to a new and, it's going to open you up to no longer accepting things as they are just because it's the way it's always been, right? It's no longer accepting less than what you deserve. It's no longer accepting things just because that's been the way they are. That's that fear of change talking, right? This is instead embracing that change, looking at what else could be out there. What more do you want? How are you going to get there? What needs to change so that you can align to that, right? And it brings into this whole definition, especially with the Sagittarian stellium incorporating the sun, your identity, right? New ideas bring new results, new experiences. And so especially when you look at your exploration, the fiery truth, Sagittarian energy with the sun element, this is where it's like, remember, being leads to doing. Doing leads to having. With the Virgoan energy here, coupling with the Sagittarian stellium that we all hold within us on this channel, this is where it's connecting all those dots with pragmatic planning, practical goals, step by step, that need to happen to get you from point A to point B. And you're going to feel this urge, right? It's going to give you where this urge that basically leads you to back away from what's always been and tying you instead to this urge of travel, connecting with different cultures, different belief systems, learning something new, appreciating a new perspective in how to look at things, how to tackle things, how to accomplish them. It's something where it's going to be tying you to what lights you up and connecting that light to your home and to your family. This is all happening, like I say, on Monday. It's your divine light that it's like capturing in essence, in definition of how you tie your future to your home and family life, where you want that to be, and knowing that you have everything within you that you need to succeed and to make that your reality. This is enthusiasm. This is creativity. And with Venus in Sagittarius, she is all about creative problem solving, seeing things outside the lines, coloring outside the lines. And it has a lot to do about your inspiration, taking swift action and thriving on challenge, but being highly motivated with Mars as well, especially when it comes to relocation, moving directions, changing directions, perspectives, all of it coming together and tying it in your individuality, but also to your career. What's going to get you there to provide that stability, financial stability, home creature comforts? Because remember, the moon is exalted in Taurus. This is all about stability, your security, enjoying life with all the comforts that you define as your contentment, that light you up and fill you up with that joy and give you the compassion of manifesting with your emotions, literally feeling it real, feeling it into your reality, and utilizing your intuition to guide you every step of the way. So especially with the Knight of Wands here, right after the Five of Cups, I mean, look at this. What falls is meant to fall. You're holding your emotions towards your future, right? You're looking at the past, what's fallen, seeing that there's two cups still very much still available to you, waiting for you to turn your direction, turn your attention towards, and you're charging straight towards them. And this is going to be quick movement, and it's going to be moving away from any type of disappointment. This is compassion energy at its finest, and it's embracing all the mystics, the unknown, embracing change and making every moment count. This is where you're on a conquest. This is where victory is meant to be yours. With the Chariot, this is external strength from all that emotional growth that you've been working through, especially because we've had all these water trines, right? We've had all of this like Piscean, stellium. We've had the Scorpio stellium. Now we're moving into fire. This is breakthrough. This is travel. This is momentum. More importantly, putting things into action because you're headed in the right direction, and it's away from whatever has made you feel disappointed, disillusioned, entrapped, having to accept less than what truly inspires you. So on the second right away, as we head into Tuesday, the moon, which is still in Taurus in the 9th house of expansion, will square off with Pluto. And remember, Pluto is direct, thank goodness, right? Pluto wants you to use his energy. He shakes things up. He breaks things what no longer serve us down. The moon during this time as well is going to be facing off with Venus in a way, where Venus is sextile with Pluto. So we've got Venus tying Sagittarian fiery truth in our 4th house of home and family, working cooperatively, tying us to our innovation when it comes to our work, our career, our purpose, our meaning. These transits, especially as they face off and create this push-pull energy with the moon in our higher self of expansion, right? Our accelerated growth towards our north node. These transits are going to highly impact profound change within you. They're going to light this up in a way where it has to do with change in your work and your day-to-day, so that your core values and your desires are not only accommodated, but they're incorporated with harmony. It looks at everything that needs to change, especially with that soul-searching higher self-wisdom, with that higher meaning, with what you dream, with that Piscean energy, especially with Saturn now direct. He is our planet of structure. He is our planet of karmic rewards. He rewards us for hard work, especially as it leads to and concerns with our stability, our prosperity, our justice. No longer accepting less. You hold the key to this, I'm just saying. And this is the week where you see and you make those shakeups towards your abundance, towards your harvest, towards really standing in your integrity, your fortuity, right? This is reward for doing the right thing. Reward for standing with your divine fire lit up, warming your dreams, your hearth, and your heart chakra. So this is going to feel very significant, especially the sextile between Pluto and Venus. Your heart's desires with our planet that breaks down structures that are not meant to serve us, right? And that includes at a macro level and at a micro level. So this is all about innovation, problem solving, coloring outside the lines. So there may be this significant or possibly I should say, uncomfortable, I can talk, possibly uncomfortable change that's needed. And it's going to bring an epiphany to really highlight and spotlight this. It could be in your daily work, could be in your health routines and your health care. Could even be regarding your pets, because Pluto in our 6th house, he rules pets as well. There's something that's going to come up. Whatever it is, it's demanding a deep foundational shift in how you operate daily. Venus's sextile with Pluto, however, is here to ease that tension by providing opportunities to truly implement these major changes that are needed with grace and with some very creative problem solving that bring comfort and foster support. And it's your justice against any temptation that's held you back from the 9 of Pentacles, from holding you back from standing in your personal power, and holding you back from the relationships that you truly deserve, and all the hope, the star that you're meant to shine as, so that you can take swift action towards your 10 of Cups and towards the sun. Oh my goodness, we're going to talk about this. So this is where right away, Tuesday is a big day. Wednesday is an even bigger day. This is where whatever has made you feel entrapped, you're making a narrow escape. You're recovering. You're healing. This is your comeback. You're regenerating with this Sagittarius stellium. And keep in mind, we've got a full moon coming up on Thursday. I'll do a separate reading on that too. But this is where you're moving on from those pains and you're growing bigger, brighter because of them. They made you stronger. They made you who you are, but more importantly, they taught you what you didn't want, what doesn't work for you, so that you know and you can walk confidently forward toward what does work with comfort, when it has to do with support, when it has to do with creative solutions, claiming your justice, moving towards your mastery, balancing the scales against any injustices, right? Against any polarities, opening your throat chakra. And remember, the throat chakra, what I love most about it is it's being very cognizant with clarity, knowing and an inner knowing of what you consent to on a conscious and a subconscious level. This is equity, standing in your truth. When it comes to legal matters, especially with injustices, this is looking at everything fairly, right? With balance, harmony, receiving the good karma from Saturn due to the rewards of good deeds that you've done in the past. This is the energy, especially when it comes to any temptations, any vices, any restrictions, any pessimism, anything that's broken down structures, right? Anything that's really disrupted your creative sacral flow, your energy when it comes to your new beginnings, you're making the change to bring harmony with the 1 reducing to the 1 and the 5 reducing to the 6, to bring balance, integration back into your life, back into your day-to-day, back into your home and family, back into your inner comforts, inner joy, inner contentment when it comes to your emotions, and recognizing, seeing where they've disrupted your manifestations. Because remember, manifestation, I'll say it again, it's believing that leads to doing. It's doing that leads to having. This is having your 9 of Cups, where wishes truly do come true, right? This is the fruits of your labor. The confidence in knowing that you have everything within you needed to succeed and to reach towards your dreams. You're not meant to make them dimmer. You're not meant to make them smaller. This is instead being blessed with all that Venus has to offer with her heart's desires and reaching towards that good news, that inner peace, that independence, that success. those material comforts, that prosperity that you truly deserve, and knowing that you're truly supported. So like I was saying, Wednesday is going to be an even bigger day than Tuesday. So Wednesday by far is the busiest astrological day of the week, and it happens to be right before the full moon. The moon, still in Taurus, exalted in Taurus, working at its finest in the expansive energy of our 9th house, right? That's higher learning. That's wisdom moving towards your highest self, your greatest self, your best self, experiencing the best that life has to offer. Well, the moon is going to be sextile with Jupiter retrograde, with Saturn now direct, and with Neptune retrograde. And remember, Neptune and Saturn, they're both in Pisces, focusing on relationships, your most committed relationships in your 7th house. Jupiter is in your 11th house, exalted in Cancer. That is hopes, wishes, dreams, humanitarian efforts, your social networks, both online and in your community, longest held aspirations. And to top that off, the moon is going to be conjunct with Uranus, which is also currently in retrograde, shaking things up, breaking things down when it comes to your higher beliefs, whether they be culturally or conditionally imposed. He's tearing down everything that you were taught to believe, and he's focusing on what you know to be true. To top that all off, the moon is going to oppose Mercury, which, remember, Mercury, thank goodness, now direct in Scorpio, in our 3rd house of communication. This is PR, launching things, what you sell, how you sell yourself, your small business, your PR when it comes to how you connect with your bonds, right? Your deepest, most heart-lifted, heartfelt desires and all that passion, uncovering things that were hidden, facing challenges head on. So this is a time of both sudden revelations and deep emotional reflection. And it's going to provide these beautiful opportunities on Wednesday, right before the full moon, for quiet strength and powerful transformation. So what really comes to mind is when you're looking at conflict and facing challenges head on, especially when it's difficulty in communication, those who speak the loudest are typically the weakest. It's the ones who stay silent that you really got to be paying attention to. The ones who keep their cool no matter what they face, right? No matter what chaos is surrounding them. This is that energy. It's that quiet strength. It's that comfort that really allows you to keep your head on your shoulders no matter what you face, to really take those pragmatic steps to embrace the change and make every moment count. As things get shaken up, just saying, Uranus is here. So this is a time of both sudden revelations, deep emotional reflection, transformation, very powerful transformation. So you may be finding friends come in to offer comfort, emotional security, and emotionally secure avenues for pursuing broader ambitions that you have long held. Also, too, when it comes to one-on-one relationships, you will have this wonderful thing come in with Wednesday, with all these interactions, with all these sextiles, the conjunction, this powerful energy and alignments. So the one-on-one relationships that you have will hold this powerful feeling and bond within them. You'll also be attuned to the subtle unspoken needs of your closest allies. And you'll also, with especially Neptune here, be attuned to compassion and be called to examining where certain relationships, where certain partnerships have been idealized, and hold compassion, hold that space for that truth. And with Uranus's retrograde in conjunction with the moon, your desire for emotional comfort may be suddenly shifted to rebelling against old ideas of what comfort means to you, of what true allies mean to you, what true friendships mean to you, what true support means to you. And you'll be challenging the lies, you'll be challenging the deeply held beliefs, the preconditioned and cultural expectations, and how all of that's been defined for you rather than what you know to be true. And with Mercury's opposition, you'll be probing deep into the friction of what you know to be true versus the information that you share with others and that you gather from others as well. So it's this big, huge discerning eye that allows you the empowerment of standing in all of your Virgo in power, standing 10 toes down, coming to a point of completions when it comes to really seeing the way, the path forward, the pragmatic steps needed, the change that's needed, the adjustments that are needed to truly attain your goals, to truly attain the home life, the family life, the direction, the place, the location, to begin your new cycle. And it's the integration of all of this wisdom that your intuition is going to be guiding you through. This is receiving guidance, receiving mentorship, like I say, one-on-one relationships, especially in your professional or even your social networks. There's this mentorship aspect that's coming in right before this full moon and with this full moon. And it's going to be grounding you with this emotional revolution, basically, with a powerful new perspective by creating stability and freedom, creating stability and liberation, and creating stability in the needed change right as we head into this full moon in Gemini in our 10th house. That is honors, achievements, your career, your public image. This is where you're able to really get to a place to seek the wisdom, to embrace the mentorship and even the mentorship from your spirit guides, especially with your intuition being awakened here, to really look at everything that's on the table and follow a non-traditional path. Follow your path, the path that leads to harmony, the path that leads to balance, the path that leads to embracing polarities and adapting with grace, especially with that Geminian energy, because we'll be feeling this. I mean, this is our sister sign that's ruled by Mercury. The blessing about Geminian energy, really, is they have the ability to really look with an expansive viewpoint and open-mindedness in all the light and in all the dark and see through the shadows and not be blinded by the light, right? Light is refractory. And so what Geminis really hold the power of, which is absolutely beautiful, is they can see in this vast, wide view of full spectrum light and full spectrum darkness and not be blinded by either or feel blinded by either. They can embrace it and embrace those new perspectives that really come from each and every part of it, right? Because there's no black and white in life. There's just a bajillion shades of gray. And if that resonates, like I say, let me know in the comments below. Put a heart in the comments below, because this has a lot to do about your love, has a lot to do about your passions, has a lot to do about temptations, has a lot to do about your partnerships, the romance in what you do, in your career, in being seen, your public image, your home and family life, in your partnerships, in your connections, and in the decisions that propel you forward. So with this full moon in our 10th house, I just want to point this out right away. So we'll get into this, but the moon is going to be trine with Pluto. And remember, Pluto is this energy. He wants you to use him. In Aquarius, in our home sign, or our home house, our 6th house of work, of meaningful purpose. Pluto in Aquarius, this is expansive energy, and it's all tied to what lights you up with that heart chakra. The full moon in Gemini in our 10th house, what allows us to truly shine at what we do best, being a sign of service, not for service, mind you, is also going to be opposing Venus, opposing this, creating this friction between our career and our home and family life. In the work that we do, does it still align with our purpose? So this full moon is bringing a culmination point, and it's also bringing clarity as well as balance between your career ambitions and your personal values. And it has a lot to do tying in to that new moon that we had in Gemini that took place on May 26th. So think back the last 6 months, right? What you've been progressing forward on, what you've been driving towards when it comes to your career ambitions, how you've been realigning your personal values, what has all happened, right? The progress you've made, the obstacles you've encountered. This full moon is bringing all of it, illuminating all of it into review. What has worked, what needs to be changed, which professional paths are truly aligned with your purpose, are aligned for you. And it's this beautiful moment of clarity. It's this beautiful moment of visibility that may feel both rewarding and it may also feel demanding, where you've had overburdenings, right? What worked, what hasn't, what needs to be adjusted, what needs to be lightened, where you can work smarter, not harder, especially with Pluto being here in innovative Aquarius energy. So this full moon is going to be extremely powerful. And I'll say it again, stay tuned because I will do a separate read on this. I'll also do a meditation video as well, so that anyone that wants to use it as a tool, it's a tool there for you, especially focusing on that innovative energy of Aquarius energy, right? Really shining in all the light that you are as the star you're meant to be. That goes with inspiration, your contentments. That also goes with filling your heart with hope, your vision and how it holds that hope, your spiritual guidance and how you open yourself to it. How also, too, you look at the past with refinement, with healing energy, so that both cups, as you can see, are balanced with what comes in and what goes out. And it's this renewable energy of sustainability within all of your energy, in your new beginnings, in your spirituality, in your heart chakra, in feeling supported, the giving and the receiving of energy, in your relationships, in your partnerships. It encompasses all of it. And it encompasses, like I say, the reward and the demand, the responsibility to your career and to your values, to your partnerships. So, with Pluto's trine here, any necessary adjustments that you find that you want to make in your day-to-day, you're going to be making them with they're going to feel, I should say, like purposeful evolution. They're going to feel liberating. They're going to allow you to really free up any stagnation so that there's movement, acceleration, incoming messages with approaching your goals, with taking fast action that's decisive. This is also too about unrestricting any movement that you have felt has been kind of stopped or slowed during all of the retrogrades that we've had. Just saying, especially since May up till now. So with Pluto here in this energy, with Venus in this energy, any decisions made around your career will impact either your home or your living situation during this full moon. It will require balancing. There's going to be this conflict, this push-pull, right, that you're feeling with this opposition with Venus and with the full moon. So it's going to really illuminate a balance, facing this conflict head-on regarding whether your career path aligns with what you value, what you find most beautiful in your personal life. It's going to prompt a choice between a different path or a decisive conversation about your career, with yourself, with your partnerships, with your home, with your family, whatever it concerns, or wherever you feel that tension. And not only will it be emphasizing the importance of your support systems at home, but there's this high potential of good advice, good luck that's coming in from your social and your professional connections, from the home front as well. What lights you up in your truth. And you're going to be receiving those downloads with Mercury here talking big, loud, and proud, especially with knowing how to be walking in inspiration, what you need to be walking in inspiration, what you hold in your resources to know that you have enough to accomplish all of your goals. And this is good news. This is incoming messages that unrestrict you. This is alchemy at its finest, that really truly opens a door to your stability, to your prosperity, realigns things in your personal power, allows you to seek decisions, make decisions with judgment, with good judgment, especially when it concerns your abundance and how you define abundance. Because remember, monetary gain is only one evolution, one measurement of your abundance. The abundance of love, the abundance of not walking this world alone, right? Of knowing that you're supported, having the social circles, that time is money. Really, it's the one thing. Our attention is our greatest energy consumption and energetic transaction. This is where you're looking at everything and how you define your 10 of Cups, right? Your familial life, your tribe, your soul tribe, your contentment, your sense of belonging, the enduring, say that 10 times fast, enduring success that fills you up from soul to heart to body, right? Mind, body, and soul with spiritual pleasures that really lights up a bright future where you're not accepting just what is because it's the way it's always been or what you've been told you have to accept, particularly when it comes to your structure, your foundation. So this full moon is going to be very powerful. I will say as well, when it comes to looking at your career, your professional life, your home life, there could be some manifestations here. And like I say, it's surrounding with, it's really encompassing support, good advice, good luck. So you could be completing a major project. You could be having this major project that you've just been completing, that you've been launching, that is leading to recognition or promotion. You could see a boost in your authority with this promotion, in your responsibilities, or even your reputation. There's something where you're putting yourself out there, especially with Mercury in Scorpio moving direct again. So a lot of those things that you've been launching, thinking about launching since May, took the first steps in October, did the foundational work in October, maybe held off, did some reflection, refinements during the retrograde. Now it's like, okay, let's do this. You're leaping in head first. And remember, I mean, this is like scorpionic energy is going deep. It's diving in deep to the deep end, doing the most difficult high dive. And it's not making a big splash. It's like when your toes hit the, like as your fingers enter the water, as your toes fully get encompassed, there's barely a splash and it's a perfect 10 kind of energy. That is this kind of energy. So whatever it is, you may be even having an epiphany or a realization that a long-held career goal or path may no longer even be suitable for you because it's taking away from something else. It's not sustainable. It no longer aligns with your passions. And remember, I mean, we'll get into it, but Friday is this huge epiphany kind of day right after this where you're truly looking at what comes first when it comes to your 10 of Cups. What do you honor and cherish, value most, hold most dear? And this is where you're exalting all of that. You're prioritizing all of it. You're looking at the definition, I guess what really comes to mind is your biggest dreams in life do not require you to sacrifice, right? It requires balance instead. It requires successionable planning. It requires pragmatic steps. It requires hard work, absolutely, but it doesn't require sacrifice. So you're looking at where you've had to sacrifice in order to really reach towards dreams, and you're asking yourself, is that the true dream? Or is what I'm sacrificing maybe too much? And the biggest thing that I always have come to mind, and Friday will really exacerbate this, is that home, health, and family always come first, right? And where have we, you're going to be asking with this full moon, where have we culturally been preconditioned to think that money basically supersedes all of that in a lot of ways? And when you start looking at the energetic aspects of what money is, because money is the physical, tangible result of energetic transactions, right? You're looking at what has made you feel unsafe, that made you feel you had to sacrifice, rather than be safe to receive all that you desire, especially when it comes to your 10 of Cups. And you're taking action with what realigns most, what aligns you most to your highest held self, your highest held identity, state of consciousness, ideas, purpose, meaning, what fills you up, what lights you up, and what connects you to Soul's Temple, our true source of reciprocity and reciprocal energy, renewable energy source flow. And if that resonates, like I say, by all means, let me know in the comments below. Put a heart in the comments below, because this full moon is going to be huge. It's going to be basically tearing down that feeling or that need to work 3 jobs and pay just to pay for the daycare when really the biggest gift in life, the most important job that you hold, is to be able to spend that time raising your own children, right? It's that kind of big epiphany energy. And what you can do to realign those values so that the end goal, the true energetic transaction, becomes the one that's exalted and held with that renewable source energy. So if that resonates, like I say, let me know. Like, share, subscribe, elevate this message, because that's how collectively we all elevate together. When we tell, the getting paid for minimum wage, working 3 jobs, having to work harder versus smarter is not necessarily working for us anymore. And Pluto is here during this full moon to tear down all of those misconceptions that we've been preconditioned to having to accept at a macro level, just saying. So before we move on to Friday, whatever this full moon is going to be illuminating for each of you at a micro level, it's bringing clarity on an issue. It is going to encourage you to consider both logic and emotion when making a very big decision. So this is where attainment to your glory, your material wealth, your health, your confidence, standing in all of that soul's energy when it comes to leading with compassion, leading with contentment, achieving that true vitality with enthusiasm, success, prosperity that we are all meant to be guided to ascend towards in this life. This is where this full moon is going to bring in a huge completion when it comes to the birth of something new. This is making every moment count with clarity, with holding that key, and with knowing that each and every one of us holds that power, right? So before the moon moves into Cancer, on the 5th, on Friday, happy Friday, just saying, first week in December, I'm so excited. This is where this first full week is coming in and shaking things up. And on Friday, it's bringing an epiphany. So before the moon moves into Cancer, puts us in this feels kind of area with all that leadership compassion in our lives. The Geminian moon in our 10th house will oppose Mars. So remember, Mars is still part of this stellium. This stellium is going to take place and really take presence all the way through December 15th. And when the moon is right after the full moon is opposing Mars, we're looking at the tension. We're really looking at exasperating the tension between our career life and our home and family ties. To top that off, the moon is also going to be square with Saturn and Neptune. And remember, Saturn is structure. He is our legacy. He is moving direct. He is trine with Jupiter. Neptune is still in retrograde, but he is both, are in Pisces, our dreamer, our compassion kind of energy, our visionary, and focusing on partnerships. So these transits will intensify any tension between your career ambitions and your personal life, and where you've had to I wanted to come to, so I'm going to take it. And where you've had to sacrifice without receiving the true abundance that you deserve or that you want to see. So this full moon, whatever's been illuminated, they are going to be shifting the energy from clarity to practical challenge of implementing the necessary adjustments and decisions that you choose to make, that you want to make under the full moon energy. And it'll feel a little bit like a reality check of empowerment. It's where you hold the key and you have this epiphany that all that power is within each and every one of your choices. Each choice defines the next step to your destination, to your discernment. So just as an example, if you've been feeling with this tension between work and home, if you've been feeling like a partner, or even if a partner has been feeling, if you've been feeling like you've been having to put your home and family life on the side, if a partner has been feeling like they've been taking the back seat or the second seat, right, the passenger seat to your career responsibilities, you're looking at what needs to change and what needs to be balanced so that that security is reestablished. If you feel too much pressure from one or the other, you're looking at the ways that are needed, the changes that are needed to realign home, health, and family so that they come first. It's all going to lead to this sudden emotional insight or even a breakthrough. And there is going to be this conflict between true emotional foundation of home and family versus your external goals in career and public image. And it's going to allow you this beautiful wake-up call that's freeing, that's liberating, so that you can address any imbalances, misalignments, or delusionments that don't align with your emotional needs and that don't support your deeper sense of self. It's this reattunement to what you cherish most in life. And it's also a reattunement to the recognition, the epiphany that time is short. And you're making every moment, every second count. And you're making the changes that are needed to make that change happen. It is a shakeup. It is so liberating. And it's going to be this major change where you hold the key of empowerment to standing against any 10 of swords, right? This is overcoming sorrow, mending a heart, healing, recovery, letting go, seeing and achieving the growth that you deserve, that you want to experience, especially with this Sagittarian stellium. With all this when it comes to home, family, where you plant your roots, how you expand your space, filling it with love, with inspiration, with vitality, infusing all of it with how you define your desires, your balance, your strength. This is where whatever has been a deception and exaggeration, wherever you felt exhausted with an overburdenment, right? Wherever you've seen and experienced failure, wherever you've experienced gossip, backstabbing, everything that you've been fighting so hard for, like if you're going to a 9-to-5 and all you see is just like people throwing each other under the bus and a bunch of chaos, and you see the wrinkles and the white eyebrow hairs growing, and meanwhile you're working this job and then a second job, maybe even a third job, that are all just these like really toxic environments, so that you can pay for the daycare for somebody else to raise your beautiful child that you want to just, that's what you look forward to seeing and spend like doing all day long. You're looking at all of this and you're taking your power back. You're looking at how you can manifest your goals with creative problem solving in different ways, in different avenues, new directions, new locations, right? New jobs. Standing in your authority, standing with an open mind, with all the resilience that you hold, especially with Pluto in Aquarius, thinking outside the box, finding new resources, reinfusing your home, how you define that with love, harmony, with pleasure, so that those are the key components to how you define your future and your here and now. And you're moving to a place of mastery, right? This is no longer accepting less, I should say, than your just deserves, but it's also calling judgment, especially when it comes to fairness and experiencing everything that your highest self wants to experience. This is going to be major shakeups, but it's embracing change with all the beautiful color of that empowerment of the fiery truth, the explorer of this Sagittarian stellium, with all the expansion in how you define love, how you define home, where you like define your family pleasures, right? Like I say, I mean, especially with the Sagittarian stellium, it is giving you the vision for the future of your home and family. And then with us being Virgos, with Pluto in our 6th house, home, I should say, your day-to-day, your lifestyle, your work, what gives you purpose, what fills you with meaning. You're taking the pragmatic steps, the practical steps to make it all happen smoothly. And with Venus, it's going to come with creative problem solving, right? And creative expansion. So you're not just decorating. If you had a bunch of snowfall like I did, you're not just building a snowman. You're going out there and you're building your kid's favorite. I'm out of touch with channels. I don't watch TV so for what the current shows are, but you're building a Bluey. You're building, an elephant. you're like I say, you're putting a shelf, a snow shelf together, and then you're utilizing the outdoor space where it's like you've got this tunnel that the kids have to go through that is also lit by Christmas lights. Just saying, it has like embedded in the snow some wonderful light situations going on. It's a rotary light situation, you know, and you've got a strobe light on that cute little skating rink that you just built for them. But then there's like elves on the snow shelves hiding for them to find every day, so that they're not just, you're getting creative with it, right? You're putting that extra fiery flair in how you enjoy your day to day, in what lights you up, what fills your family with those new experiences, those new memories. And like I say, at a big level, it could be changing direction in your career path, finding a better career or a better job that pays you more, that really is your true calling, that aligns you better with your desires, but also too enables you to quit that third job, to quit that second job. Or maybe too, you're deciding that, hey, if you quit that second and the third job, you now have the time where you don't have to pay for that daycare. It not only saves you the money, it creates the opportunity, the window to truly experience, to build all of this with your kids, right? So if that just gave you tinglies like it did me and made your ear ring, let me know in the comments below. Put a heart in the comments below, because this is truly where it's like you are embracing your soul's, like what lights your soul up, your soul's light, right? It's focusing your energy, making the change that you've been feeling needs to come in all your willpower, in all your ambition towards your success. You're taking the reins, you're embracing the positive and the negative of those changes. You're looking at them practically, pragmatically as well, weighing the pros and the cons. And you're making movement. You're taking action in that movement. And for some of us, it may require some travel. It may require a new direction, a new location. But with the lemon balm, it is going to be healing. It is going to be healing a lot of stagnation, a lot of vices, a lot of restrictions, and freeing you up to all of your desires. It is gorgeous energy. And this is the week with the Sagittarius stellium that it starts to all take shape. So before we go, let's look at some, thank you, I never get to finish. Let's look at some spirit animal totems for some, oh my goodness, for some additional messages. I must have not covered everything because they flew out pretty sweetly. Okay, look at this. Yeah, this is the empowerment that you make the choice. You write your history. You write your future. We'll get into it. It's taking action with the pronghorn. Now is the time. Opportunities are here. It's time to move forward with confidence, because your talents, your skills, your gifts will always help you land on the pinnacle of your success. This is utilizing your quick wit, your keen senses to lead you straight towards your success. Like I say, it's about weighing those pros and cons and really taking the reins, taking your power back, as well as taking the time out from the world to be the observer and really decide, utilize your discernment, trust your inner knowing of what's been deceiving you and what you hold most dear. This is truly finding that strength in the silence and the solitude to everything that you need, that you hold sacred. And it has a lot to do with what you hold most dear. This is the time to be gentle with yourself. Know that you heal with the power of love. This is where you see the light in all things and acknowledge your self-worth, all of your grace. Especially with Venus and Sagittarius, she is going to be helping you make these changes towards everything you desire with ease, with grace. And it's reminding you, this week is empowering you in the reminder, in the remembering that it's your choice. So close your eyes. What animal do you imagine? What strengths are they known for? What wisdom do they have to share with this world in this life? This is the time. This is the week to embrace those qualities. Let me know what you envision in the comments below. But before we go as well, let's look at our major arcana, because this is just gorgeous energy. I mean, we had the Ten of Cups, we had the Star, we had the Lover's card come out in this. We had the Hermit come out in this. This is just, and the Justice card. I mean, this is a powerful week. And I mixed up the stacks again. So there's that. Okay, here we go. Oh, excuse me. that fell. All right, let's take a peek. We had a lot. I mean, look at how powerful this week is for change. Tearing down everything that was built on sand, all the vices, moving straight, I think it came out this way, focusing on your partnerships, standing back, taking back your power, shining as the star that you are, holding everything in your guidance, everything that fills you up and lights you up, and you're claiming your justice, and you're taking action straight towards it. Oh my goodness. I just got tinglies again. I can't help it. Okay, so what we pulled, looking at our color and music therapy. Okay, we pulled a C, an A, an F, an A sharp, 2 Ds, an F sharp, and a D sharp. And then color-wise, I mean, this is crazy amazing. So we have the sacral energy speaking loud and clear with this orange. We have our heart chakra also being lit up with the greens. We've got our crown chakra, our divine light being lit up, and it's all being grounded with your foundation with the red. So I truly hope you guys have a beautiful week. Welcome to December. Welcome to the Sagittarian stellium and the full moon in Gemini. Get ready for some shakeups, some major changes. But it's where you're embracing the change and you're making every moment count because you hold the key to your life. And I am sending you so much love and light. Take care, and I will see you in the next reading.